Warlord Kraz Thul stood on the command deck of the inevitable Conquest, watching with cold satisfaction as the surrender terms from Proxima Centauri's third planet scrolled across his display. Another world added to the Dominion's ever-expanding territory, the 14th this cycle alone. The Conquest had followed the same efficient pattern as all the others: arrive with overwhelming force, demonstrate their technological superiority with a surgical strike against military installations, and watch as the planet's leadership quickly capitulated to preserve what remained of their civilization. The Proximan delegates have signed the integration protocols, reported Subcommander Vexmar. Resource extraction can begin within 2 rotations. Kraz Thul's scaled skin rippled with pleasure. Excellent. Plot a course to the next system. Already done, Warlord, the navigation officer replied. The Sol system is approximately 4.2 light-years from our current position. Preliminary scans indicate 8 planets, only one showing signs of advanced civilization. Assessment of their capabilities. Kraz Thul inquired, more from routine than genuine concern. The Dominion's expansion had encountered no meaningful resistance in over 50 conquests. Primitive by our standards, Vexmar answered, displaying the intelligence report on the main view screen. They've achieved limited space travel within their own system, established rudimentary colonies on their 4th planet, and maintain a modest defensive fleet. Their most advanced weapons employ nuclear fission and directed energy, nothing our shields can't easily neutralize. Kraz Thul studied the images of Earth's spacecraft, ungainly, utilitarian vessels that appeared to prioritize function over form. Their largest warship was barely 1/5 the size of the inevitable Conquest. They call it Earth, Vexmar continued. The dominant species are bipeds who refer to themselves as humans, technologically unimpressive, but they exhibit unusual social complexity and adaptive behaviors. Another simple conquest then, Kraz Thul concluded, his voice carrying the boredom of repetition. Prepare the usual approach. One demonstration strike should suffice. Captain Eleanor Chen of the United Earth Defense Force vessel Defiance maintained a calm exterior as she studied the approaching alien fleet. 27 ships arranged in a perfect geometric formation, the largest nearly 5 kilometers in length. They had appeared at the edge of the solar system just hours ago, bypassing the early warning beacons as if they didn't exist. Quantum analysis complete, Captain, reported her science officer, Lieutenant Prakash. Their whole composition includes elements not on our periodic table. Energy readings suggest their power generation exceeds our entire planetary output by several orders of magnitude. Chen nodded, unsurprised. Earth's deep space observatories had been tracking the fall of neighboring star systems for years. They knew this day would come. All stations, final status report, she ordered, her voice steady. Shields calibrated according to Protocol Omega, responded Commander Rivera, her executive officer. Quantum displacement drive at 98% efficiency. AEGIS, systems online. The diplomatic package is ready for transmission, but given their approach vector, they're not here to talk, Chen finished for him. They've conquered 14 worlds in the past 6 months, and not one received any warning or opportunity for peaceful contact. On the main view screen, the alien armada continued its inexorable approach, now passing Jupiter's orbit. Earth's other defensive vessels had taken up positions around the planet and moon, creating a layered defense grid. But the Defiance remained alone in the outer system, directly in the invasion fleet's path. Message from Earth Command, announced the communications officer. Admiral Takeda sends confirmation. Operation Phalanx is authorized. Chen took a deep breath. Acknowledge receipt and initiate first contact protocol. Let's see if they're willing to have a conversation before we show them why Earth isn't like the other worlds they've conquered. Aboard the inevitable Conquest, an alert chimed on the tactical display. Warlord, "One of the human vessels is approaching," reported the sensor officer with mild surprise. "It appears to be attempting to intercept our fleet." Kraz Thul's inner eyelids blinked in amusement. "One ship? Show me." The view screen magnified to reveal a human warship positioned directly in their path. It was larger than the others they observed, but still unremarkable by Dominion standards. A dark, angular vessel with visible weapon emplacements and engine ports that glowed with blue-white energy. "They're transmitting a message," the communications officer announced. "Let us hear what these humans have to say before we destroy their brave little vessel," Kraz Thul said, settling back in his command chair. The image of Captain Chen appeared on screen, her expression composed and professional. "Attention, approaching fleet. This is Captain Eleanor Chen of the UEDF Defiance. You have entered sovereign human space without authorization. We request your immediate withdrawal to the system boundary for diplomatic discussions." Kraz Thul's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his species. "Transmit our standard response. Inform them they have one planetary rotation to prepare surrender terms before we demonstrate our technological superiority." "Transmission sent," confirmed the communications officer. After a brief pause, he added, "They're responding, Warlord." Captain Chen's image reappeared. "We have received your terms and find them unacceptable. The Sol system is not available for conquest. This is your final warning. Reverse course or face the consequences." The command deck erupted in expressions of disbelief and amusement. Kraz Thul gestured for silence. "This display of defiance is unexpected, but ultimately meaningless. Target their vessel with a minimal weapons burst enough to disable but not destroy. I want them to witness what happens next." "Weapons locked, Warlord," reported the tactical officer. "Firing solutions prepared." "Fire," Kraz Thul ordered dismissively. The inevitable conquest released a concentrated energy pulse, a fraction of its true firepower, but still enough to cripple any vessel constructed with the technology level Earth possessed. The pulse streaked across space toward the solitary human ship. What happened next defied all expectations. As the energy pulse approached the Defiance, the space around the human vessel seemed to ripple. The attack didn't impact against shields as expected. Instead, it simply vanished. "Explain," demanded Kraz Thul, rising from his chair. "Unknown defensive technology detected," the tactical officer reported, mandibles clicking in agitation. "The human vessel appears to have created some form of localized space-time distortion that redirected our energy pulse." "Impossible," Kraz Thul hissed. "Their technology level couldn't." "Warlord," interrupted the sensor officer, "the human vessel is changing." On the view screen, the Defiance was indeed transforming. Sections of its hull reconfigured, revealing previously concealed systems. What had appeared to be a conventional warship now displayed technological characteristics far beyond what their intelligence had indicated humans possessed. "They're hailing us again," the communications officer reported. Captain Chen's image returned, her expression now carrying a hint of steel beneath the professional demeanor. "That was your demonstration. Now, here's ours." The Defiance unleashed what appeared to be a single projectile, small, almost insignificant, against the vastness of space. Kraz Thul didn't even bother to order evasive action for such a primitive attack. That was his second mistake. The first had been underestimating humans entirely. The projectile detonated well before reaching the Dominion fleet, but instead of a conventional explosion, it created a rippling distortion that expanded outward at impossible speed. When the wave reached the alien armada, every vessel simultaneously lost power. Propulsion, weapons, shields, even life support systems flickered and died, leaving only emergency backups operational. "Status report," Kraz Thul demanded, genuine alarm now evident in his voice. "Some form of quantum field disruption," gasped the science officer. It's collapsed, our power matrix harmonics. Restoration efforts underway, but estimated time to recovery is 12 rotations. On the view screen, Captain Chen regarded them calmly. The device we just deployed is called a quantum cascade inhibitor. It's temporarily disabled your fleet's primary systems. Consider this a demonstration of what happens when you threaten Earth. As she spoke, hundreds of smaller human vessels began emerging from concealed positions throughout the solar system, a carefully hidden defensive force that dwarfed what their intelligence had identified. Humanity has been watching the Dominion's expansion for years, Chen continued. We've studied your tactics, analyzed debris from conquered worlds, and prepared accordingly. Unlike the planets you've subjugated so far, Earth has always expected threats from beyond our solar system. It's written into our history, our literature, and our strategic planning. Krasthul, for the first time in his long military career, found himself at a tactical disadvantage. "What do you want?" he asked, the question bizarre on his tongue. "For you to leave and never return," Chen replied simply. "We have no interest in conquest or domination. We only wish to be left alone. But make no mistake, if threatened, we will respond with everything we have." As the human vessels took up positions surrounding his powerless fleet, Krasthul realized a fundamental truth. The Dominion's expansion had been predicated on facing species that were technologically inferior or psychologically unprepared for conflict. Humans, it seemed, were neither. They had taken planets easily, until a human warship blocked their path. And now, the galaxy's balance of power would never be the same.